Hi there, this is Butch Gamboa for Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motoring news and features electronic magazine. And here are some of this week's features to watch out for. On Motoring Forum, we shall have part 2 of our series on the government's Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. Our road safety tip on the Young Street Smarts portion features the first to stop, first to go rule. This week's Payong Chuper is about abiding traffic laws on loading and unloading zones. Our car care tip and auto care clinic is how to maintain your vehicle steering. The public service segment will center on impounded colorum vehicles left along the streets. Showcase this week shall have the Honda Odyssey EXV Navi CVT on center stage. And for race weekend, we'll have the highlights of the recently concluded Philippine Autocross Championship Series Round 2 held at the May Kawayan Commercial Complex. Motoring Today starts off with the latest news in transportation and traffic management right after this break.
As a coach, you don't define yourself in terms of championships you've won. What happens beyond the trophies? You have to move forward, grow, and get better. Life is all about taking shots, and I want these kids to at least have the courage to take that shot so they can grow, learn, be compassionate, and have the heart of a champion.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
Here are the latest news in transportation and traffic management. With the government's Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program underway, transport groups and operators are preparing to comply with the guidelines. Here are updates from Pasang Mazda, one of the pioneer transport groups in the country. Transport Group Pasang Mazda said that their own fleet is based on the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board's Omnibus Franchising Guidelines, which requires them to go under certain procedures to modernize their vehicles.
Once na mag-modernize kami, meron kasi mga procedure dito na kailangan mo magbuo ng isang cooperative or if you want, corporation. At yun ang gagamitin natin para ipang-loan dun sa ating mga accredited na banks na magbibigay sa atin ng pautang para dun sa pagmomodernize ng bagong sasakyan.
Regarding the fleet management, Pasang Master stressed that they are requiring the drivers to attend the Land Transportation Office or LTO's Driver Academy. This way, according to the transport group, they can ensure that the drivers who will operate the modern jeepneys are credible. Additionally, under fleet management, Pasang Master stated that the routes will have designated loading and unloading stops.
Kasama rin din po dito yung pag ang isang ruta is na fleet nyo na po yan, magkakaroon na po ng mga designated loading and unloading stop ng mga PUJs. Hindi na ho mag-uunahan ng ating mga drivers at magkakaroon na po ng mga designated loading and unloading stop.
Pasang Master highlighted that their modern jeeps are from China. The transport group added that the 10 peso fare rate will be justifiable because the jeepneys will be safer, more convenient, and more secured compared to the present ones. Moreover, Pasang Master said that the LTFRB approved 4 routes which are developmental, meaning there won't be any existing routes and operators that will be affected.
Unang-una, meron po kami dyan yung ruta namin na Quezon City Hall to Manila City Hall via Espanya, Quezon Avenue. Plus yung Valenzuela exit namin to Gateway Cubao. Plus yung meron tayo dito yung tinatawag natin na isa naman yung SM Marikina to SM Masinag. So those 4 routes na yan, may mga ruta ho na yan na may experience na ng ating kababayan this coming June.
Pasang Mazda stated that their loan from the Land Bank of the Philippines has been approved and they will start purchasing units from China. The transport group noted that the units will be Euro4 compliant. Meanwhile, the government is partnering with private companies in maximizing the use of certain buildings and infrastructures in an effort to decongest Metro Manila. Recently, a memorandum of understanding between the two has been signed. Private consortium North Luzon Express Terminals Incorporated, or NLET, reported that it is eyeing to build an integrated bus terminal inside the Iglesia ni Cristo's 75-hectare complex in Bukawi, Bulacan, in a bid to decongest Metro Manila. To jumpstart this plan, the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, Iglesia ni Cristo, and NLET recently signed a memorandum of understanding covering the 11.5-hectare integrated bus terminal. According to NLET, the North Luzon Express Terminal will cost around 5 billion pesos, and the construction is targeted to start later this 2018 and finish in 2 to 3 years. Moreover, NLET will enter into a long-term lease with Maligaya Development Corporation, the corporate arm of Iglesia ni Cristo, to operate the proposed integrated bus terminal. The company is also set as the landlord of the project. Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugare supported the proposal by saying that the proposed bus terminal will reduce traffic in Metro Manila's main thoroughfare, which is EDSA. As announced, the bus terminal is expected to reduce the number of provincial buses flying EDSA by 5,000 each day, according to the DOTR. The Transportation Secretary also noted that the North Luzon Express Terminal will be technologically based and automated. Continuing, in order to address the backlog and ensure more efficient delivery of vehicle license plates, the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, through the LTO, inaugurated its very own plate-making plant. According to the DOTR, the plate-making plant will enable the LTO to manufacture vehicle plates in a manner that is fast and efficient.
Today we have inaugurated the plant that will manufacture the plant so that at the appropriate time, LTO, with its men and women, will now do the manufacture of their own car plates para tayo na ho ang gumagawa.
As we celebrate LTO's 106th anniversary, we have just inaugurated the rehabilitated LTO plate-making plant. This will enhance LTO's capability in plate production.
Additionally, the DOTR and LTO inaugurated 7 manual embossing machines, which at full production can produce up to 22,000 plates per day. These machines are already calibrated and operational, with one automated embossing machine arriving in June and will be operational by August 2018, according to the government.
The fully automated plate making machine would be added sometime in June, which could double the plant's production.
The plate-making machines were part of the contract that the government entered into for the procurement of motor vehicle and motorcycle license plates to address the backlog from July 2016 onwards.
The project involves procurement of 775,000 pairs of vehicle plates for the period July 1 to 2016 to December 2017 and 1.7 million for motorcycle plates.
And finally, after a few months of facing challenges with the Metro Rail Transit 3 or the MRT3's operations, and after the issues regarding the Dalian trains, the DOTR MRT3 announced that they have finally completed the weight testing of the said trains. The completion of weight testing, which was preceded by a series of steps, including equipment installation, calibration, weighing of empty trains, and loading of weights, was witnessed by representatives from TUV Rhineland, members of MRT3's joint ADB Australia 8 Advisory Panel, and DOTR MRT3 management. The weighing testing was completed by weighing a Dalian car loaded with 1,464 sandbags, each weighing 17.5 kilograms, to simulate the train's crash capacity of 8 persons per square meter, or a total of 394 passengers per car. According to a release statement, the DOTR MRT3 management will only know if the 48 light rail vehicles can be used after the consolidation of reports of the entire audit process, which will be provided and submitted by TUV Rhineland, the independent consultant auditing the trains.
Tinimbang, so I think within the week lalabas yun. Huwag ko na lang pangunahan. Alam mo, baka makaroon na erasures dun. Di ba? Lalabas o. Kung sakto lang, kung sobra, hindi na ba pwedeng mapaandar, kung kulang, ano yung dapat gawin, lahat ho yun lalabas.
TUV Rhineland recommended the weight testing in Manila after the previous project team that handled the procurement and delivery of the cars failed to attend and witness the weight testing done in Dalian, China in 2015. DOTR MRT3 is expecting TUV Rhineland to finish and submit its comprehensive and complete report on the audit of Dalian trains in 1 to 2 weeks. Those are the latest news in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. In the previous episode of Motoring Today's Motoring Forum, we started our special feature on the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program by featuring the side of the government regarding the topic. In this episode, and again lifting from the recently held SPMJ Forum, we will continue with part 2 of the series, again with LTFRB Chairman Attorney Martin Delgado III, highlighting as well the take of the manufacturers on the said program. The LTFRB had an initial implementation of the PUV modernization program in different regions in the country by first identifying independent routes.
Right now, what we're doing is this one and the initial implementation. So what we're doing right now for the initial implementation is that matagal nang sinasabi ng Presidente, kailangan makita ko na, matagal nang sinasabi ni Secretary Togade, kailangan na makita na yan. So nakita na sa Tacloban, but we need to replicate it all across the country. So I have instructed my regional director na kailangan silang pumili, no? without prejudice the local public transport. route planning that is ongoing right now, kailangan nilang pumili ng a few but independent routes para maitalaga na yung ano yung gusto nilang makita under this PUV modernization program. Modern units, consolidated system, fleet management, and kung kaya nila, yung iba pang gusto nating makita, including AFCS. Yung card, na, inuumpisa na po natin dun sa Tacloban, but when I learned that there are only a few units, sabi ko sa operator, I would want that there would be 50,000 cards to be given out before the end of the year.
The modern PUJ design and features were also discussed by LTFRB Chairman Attorney Delga.
It has to be environment friendly, Euro 4 compliant, and if it does not run on engine, then it will be electric jeep. No? Safety, because the dimensional standard is that yung babaan at sakayan will have to be on the side. Universally, there is a universal observation na yung babaan na sakayan on the road is very unsafe. No? Kailangan talaga sa gilid. And for the convenience part is that when you get on the PUJ, hindi ka na yuyuko, maglalakad ka to the vacant seat. No? 1.75 centimeters yung ano. And therefore, that gives extra income to the driver kasi pwedeng standing. No? So, although the seating is something like 22, no, it can probably accommodate another 6 to 8 people. So, extra income for the driver. No? So, we also have, obviously, the speed limiter is already low and we're working out on it. No? The speed limiter, security, we have required that there would be CCTV, GPS, dashboard camera. No? Yung GPS po, looking forward lang, this is the future of public transportation system that will be run under the Department of Transportation System. Yung GPS, ang ginagawa natin dito on two things. One, precisely on the top, yung what do you call that? Card payment. Siyempre, magtatap ka pagpasok mo. Pagbaba mo, magtatap ka, and that will already compute the fare because you have the distance. No?
The budget in overhauling the country's transport system is at 400 to 450 billion pesos. And Chairman Delga presented the different cooperating partners and stakeholders in making the program happen.
We're looking at probably 400 to 450 billion pesos if we're going to overhaul the entire system. And we're just talking about the unit. Non-infra naman ito. Of course, with the participation of the private sector, there would be a lot of financial assistance by way of, from government, no? From government, in terms of budgetary requirement to support the modernization program. And if I may say, and precisely why I'm showing this to you, this is not just a project of LTFRB or the OTR. This is really the project of the Duterte administration because there are a lot of government agencies involved here. From Department of Transportation to DOLE, to DTI, to DOF, no, to DBM, lahat na po, TESDA, no? And if I may say, kasama na rin yung partners natin sa academe, no? The top universities in the country are also very much involved, helping us, especially on the planning, no? Maganda po ang tulong na binibigay nila even until now, no? And also of the international partners that we have, no? UN, Asian Development Bank, GIZ, lahat na po, no? JICA. So we're very much, I would like to think that I may not have been focused on the history of the attempts of past administrations on modernizing our public transportation system, but I'd like to believe that we have gone as far as we could.
The first SPMJ forum was also graced by Mr. Joseph Bautista, Truck Manufacturers Association's officer in charge and Business Development Division head of Isuzu Philippines Corporation, to represent the car manufacturer's stake on the PUV-MP of the government. Mr. Bautista started his presentation by highlighting the current design of the PUJs, or the public utility jeepneys. He pointed out that the present jeepneys do not have enough safety and security features. Moreover, Mr. Bautista stated that the design incorporates a lot of unnecessary things.
But what about the jeepneys? I think it's about time that it should catch up with the requirements in terms of safety. Headlamps has to follow certain height. The glass has to be tempered and so on. It also has to follow the regulation in terms of emission. In January 1, 2016, we have already implemented Euro 4. So the jeepney must comply with all this.
According to Mr. Bautista, as an association and as a company that aim to provide their customers a reliable and convenient mode of transport, the Truck Manufacturers Association, as well as Isuzu Philippines Corporation, are in full support of the government's PUVMP.
The dream of the PUB modernization is to come up with a safer, roadworthy, environment-friendly, efficient, convenient, and lastly, comfortable public utility vehicle. And as a company based in the Philippines, we would like to support this government's program. We are already discussing this with our principal companies. Since the initial meetings with government last year, we started already feeding the standards to our head office.
Mr. Bautista then proceeded to present the standards for the modern PUVs as per the Philippine National Standard. According to him, these standards were developed by the Truck Manufacturers Association together with the Chamber of Automotive Manufacturers of the Philippines. First topic is the classifications of the PUVs.
Just to give you a brief summary about the standard. So the PUV will have 4 classification. Class 1 will have a minimum of 9 passenger and up to 22 passenger all seated. This will be the replacement of the multi-cab, yung mga small jeepneys, and eventually they want to touch the tricycles. Next would be the class 2. These are parallel side-facing seat configuration. More than 22 passenger, combination of seated and standing. This will probably be a short distance city vehicle. Next would be a class 3 front-facing seat configuration, more than 22 passenger, all seated. This will be intercity transportation. And lastly, for those areas like in the provinces, like in Cordillera, we need also a vehicle that will not only transport people but also will transport cargo. So we need a vehicle that can transport those big sako ng bigas and so on.
He also discussed the standard dimensions of the PUVs.
Some highlights of the PUV in terms of dimension. The overall length of the PUV should, particularly in class 2 and class 3, should not exceed 7 meters. For the width, it's 2.35 meters. And for the overall height, as Chairman Deldra mentioned, it should accommodate a standing person of a height of 1.75. So it's about 5'9", 5'10". Pwedeng tumayo sa loob. This is especially necessary during rush hours when you need to have standing people, about 6 to 8, para they can travel from point A to point B. Also, there is a gangway requirement. For the front-facing, the gangway is about 0.35 meters. And for those vehicles that are sideway, it should be about 0.8 meters. Next slide. In terms of seat dimension, as I mentioned, the new jeepney PUV will be more generous in terms of space, width, hip width. The hip width of 400 millimeter or 400 centimeter per person will probably make about 75% of the population comfortable. So even yung matataba, they can sit comfortably with a width of, I think hip width eh. So it's about, the Filipino standard when we check is about 350 centimeter, average Filipino hip width. But for the PUB, we wanted it to be more comfortable for the sitting people. So it's about 400 centimeters. So hindi na pwede yung ginagawa sa jeepney na, the jeepney actually when we check, it's about 30 centimeters. So talagang siksikan, maliit. And then there is also a legroom of about 650 millimeter. And then in terms of height, we floor to top cushion, it's 40 to 650. It's very comfortable, hindi siya hirap. So we also have standard for stepboard as well as service door. The width of the door is actually 650 centimeter, but we are now making a jeepney wider in terms of entry because we want the handicapped people to be able to roll their wheelchair inside the vehicle. So while the standard is 65 centimeter, we are now redesigning it to about 80 centimeter para pwedeng pumasok yung mga wheelchair ng mga handicap. Also, the jeepneys will have emergency doors. We have the standards. And also, all the jeepneys will have handrails. It's about 10 centimeter distance from the ceiling.
After talking about the standard dimensions, Mr. Bautista then presented the modern design of the PUVs.
There will be additional features of the modern jeepney. It will have provision for auto fare collection. GPS is actually, aside from just knowing where you are, it will also have function of tracking the location of which jeepney by the company. It will also be equipped with CCTV camera. We also have a speed limiter. And for us, we will be adding onboard infotainment. So the function is not only to entertain passenger, but we know we will be marketing that the income of the operations should not only come from the fare. We'll be using the infotainment as advertising medium. I think when we check, I think advertising on infotainment would probably generate an income of about 20,000 a month on top of the auto. So the jeepney driver will probably get more income by this advertising revenues. Not only on the infotainment, but the whole vehicle will be made into a giant billboard where everybody can advertise outside the vehicle, inside the vehicle. So the income is not only on the fare.
Mr. Bautista ended his presentation by saying that he trusts that the changes and improvements of the country's public utility vehicles will be made possible with the collective effort of the government and the manufacturers. Truck Manufacturers Association board member and Tata Motors Philippines Vice President for Marketing, Mr. Art Balmadrid, was also there to give insights and support into the government's PUVMP.
Tata Motors Philippines is also a member of TMA, which is the Truck Manufacturers Association, which is the lead association in the industry for this modernization program of the government. And Tata Motors is very willing to support. In fact, we are very supportive of this program, and we thank you, Chairman. And we are ready to supply the volume needed in due time. But as you can see, in almost all the major activities organized by the OTR and LTFRB, we have participated because we made two types of prototype vehicles for the jeepney and for the minibus. And this is our way of showing our support to this program.
That was part 2 of our series on the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program as discussed during the initial staging of the SPMJ Forum, as organized by the Society of Philippine Motoring Journalists. Our feature on Motoring Today's Motoring Forum.
Stand
calling all automobile enthusiasts. Autofocus.com.ph is exclusive to the automobile, where you'll find reviews on the latest brand new car models, together with their head-to-head comparisons. It has the detailed specs of car models available in the country and their latest SRPs and special promos, together with the latest auto industry news and developments like car launches and test drives. Autofocus.com.ph is all about automobiles. Click on.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
Welcome back to Motoring Today, and here are this week's valuable motoring tips, starting with road safety from Toyota Motor Philippines.
Hello everyone and welcome to Motoring Today's Young Street Smarts Club. This is brought to you through the courtesy of Toyota Motor Philippines and the Toyota Foundation. My name is Susie of Magic 89.9, muling magbibigay sa inyo ng simpleng tips on how to use our roads properly and safely. Kung marami kayong sasakyan na nakahinto sa intersection, keep in mind that the first to stop is the first to go. This way, maiiwasan ang banggaan at iba pang aksidente. Until the next time here on Motoring Today's Young Street Smarts portion, where you can learn to be safe while on the road as a pedestrian, commuter, biker, or driver. This is Susie of Magic 89.9 reminding you to always be a safe and responsible road user.
From road safety tips, let's get into the driver's proper demeanor from Mitsubishi Motors Philippines.
Payong tsuper lang, kaibigan. Ako po si Jake, isang kapwa nyo tsuper. Loading and unloading ng mga pasahero sa tamang lugar lamang gawin.
May tamang lugar para magbaba at magsakay ng pasahero. Kaya doon ihinto ang iyong sasakyan. Iwasan makaabala sa ibang motorista, kaya itabi mo ang sasakyan mo. Huwag sa gitna ng daan pumarada. Huwag ka nang dumagdag sa problema natin sa kalsada. Matuto kang sumunod sa batas trapiko.
Kung ayaw mong maabala, huwag ka ring mangabala. Makisama ka, kaya't huwag basta humarang sa kalsada. Ito po si Jake Gonzalez, payong tsuper lang, kaibigan, mula sa isang kapwa nyo tsuper.
Moving on now with our motoring tips, let's now go into proper vehicle care, courtesy of Isuzu Philippines Corporation. When it comes to your car, it's important that you pay attention to the maintenance, especially with essential parts. In this week's Auto Care Clinic, learn how to properly maintain your steering.
Ang power steering ay dinesign para maging low maintenance. Ang kailangan lang alalahanin ay ang pagpalit ng power steering fluid sa 20,000, 40,000, 70,000 at 90,000 kilometers. Bukod pa dito, kailangan din inspeksyonin ang level ng power steering fluid bawat 15,000 kilometers. Ang steering system ay kailangan din tingnan kung mayroong tulo ang mga hose o reservoir. Kung mayroon man, palitan natin kaagad upang hindi madali ang iba pang component ng steering system. dahil kapag natuyuan ka ng power steering, malaking sira ang maaaring mangyari sa mga ibang pyesa. Ayon sa ating periodic maintenance schedule, kailangan na din inspeksyonin ang mga sunod na bagay. Ang steering wheel play o ang maluwag na pakiramdam ng manibela na hindi naman nakakabig ang gulong. Ang kanan at kaliwang turning radius. Ang wheel alignment. At ang mga joint ball at mga rubber boots kung mayroong sira. Sa iyong pagmamaneho, iwasan din kung pupwede ang biglaang pagtama sa mga malalaking obstacle gaya ng lupa, riles o mga bato dahil nakakasira ito sa mga joints at rubber boots ng iyong steering. Bagalan ng takbo at dahan-dahan ang paggulong sa obstacle upang hindi mabigla ang iyong steering mechanism.
Do it regularly so your car is always in good condition.
The power of Strada. It's your sport truck. See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Continuing with this edition of Motoring Today, we now move on into the world of motorsports.
In motorsports news, the 2018 Vios Cup season flagged off yesterday, April 28, at the Clark International Speedway. More than 50 competitors were expected to show up for the start of one of the biggest one-make series in Southeast Asia using the popular Toyota Vios prepped for racing. Like in past seasons, competitors are bracketed into the promotional, sporting, and super sporting classes. And again, as in past years, a number of celebrities participated, including such stars as Gretchen Ho, Aubrey Miles, Fabio Ide, Troy Montero, Diego Loizaga, Sofia Andres, Chi Filomeno, and Sam Milby. Making the competition all the more exciting in the super sporting class is the use of lighter hoods and trunk and TRD rotor disc brakes to make the Vios go faster and help drivers brake deeper into turns. This year, the Vios Cups will have 3 legs, including yesterday's season opener. The second leg will be held on the streets of Philinvest City in Alabang. The season ender will be held back at the Clark International Speedway. In other motorsports news, the third leg of the 2018 Race Motorsports Club Phoenix Pulse Technology National Slalom Series will be held on May 6 at Robinson's Novaliches. Heading into Slalom Race Day, the question remains, can anyone stop the winning streak of 2017 Slalom King, Milo Rivera? Finally, the organizers of the 2018 Flat Out Race Series announced that the third leg of this year's exciting series will be held on May 19 at the Batangas Racing Circuit.
Moving on now, we have Motoring Today's Race Weekend, courtesy of Phoenix Petroleum. Race Weekend is brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology.
Local motorsports fans had to wait a bit longer for the second round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series, with the scheduled second round postponed by organizers. And the wait seemed longer because of an exciting first round that saw the likes of Milo Rivera and Inigo Anton, virtually new to the series, giving the veterans a run for the money. But the second round didn't disappoint, with again great competition up and down the field. Up next, Race Weekend brings to you highlights of the Autocross series as well as interviews with some of the major players on their performance during the round.
Welcome to Race Weekend, your weekly portal into the exciting world of local motorsports. This weekend, we take you to Maykawayan Commercial Complex for the second round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series. As expected, the competition was hot, and not only because the summer sun was beating down merciless on the cars lining up for their practice, and later on time, runs on the new course laid out on the streets of Maykawayan Commercial Complex. It was also because the high-speed course, according to the racers Race Weekend interviewed, favored the brave. Let's meet with some of the racers themselves, starting with one of the new few ladies in the competition. 23-year-old Elise Menorca began to join races after getting quite good at racing in video or console games, good enough to win a competition.
I actually learned from the simulator like Gran Turismo, and then there was this competition that gave sim racers an opportunity to race in real life. And so that's how I started. 2016 they got me, and then I won. I went to the UK and stuff like that. And then when I went here, I started actively joining races this year, 2018, yeah.
Using her daily drive Picanto, Elise Menorca eventually finished second in the ladies class behind Erx Manahan. Over on the men's side of the series, Jen Colina found competition tougher this year than last year in the all Corolla class that he competes in.
2018 Philippine Autocross is very challenging, more challenging than the last season. We prepared the car for more than a week, do some changes on the suspension, tuning the engine, because there are a lot of drivers here that are very good, magagaling din sila talaga, so we have to be ready for whatever comes in the competition. Today's track is quite challenging, aside from it is high-speed track compared to the track from last round. It's very challenging, a lot of tricky parts on the track, so we have to focus and just maintain your driving style and just focus, and you'll get better times in the next round.
Jen Colina ended his day setting the fastest time in the all Corolla class with a respectable 59.71 hundredths of a second. In the novice class, it's again 13-year-old Inigo Anton lording it over the autocross newbies, setting the best-in-class time of 54.26 hundredths of a second in the novice modified C category. The racing prodigy also set the best time of 54.47 hundredths of a second in the novice modified D category. The young Inigo Anton apparently is being trained by his dad, Carlos Anton, for bigger achievements in motorsports, and both are a fixture in autocross as well as other motorsports events this year.
Well, the run was good overall for me. Of course, it was really quick, but of course, I still need a lot to improve if I want to get to my dad's level. So there's still a lot of training that I have to do to be able to get to my dad's level, but for now, it's quite good for my age. The competition was even hotter among the big boys of this year's Philippine Autocross Championship Series. Danby Yaptinchay set the early time to beat but found himself eclipsed by the elder Anton.
Actually, this morning, I did a good run. We were the fastest among all, best time. And then, unfortunately, we were beaten by Carlos Anton. But I only had my first run, so I still have a few more to catch up. The second turn is quite difficult. It's a tight left turn. It's a bit slippery. It's very tight.
Also in the fight for the best overall time of the day was Jeff Borja, who competes in the Open A class.
Yeah, last round I think we won in the Open A class, so that was good. But we didn't get to win in the other class I wanted to win. But you know, the competition is really tough this year. I think this track today is more high speed, so it doesn't exactly suit my car for today. We brought a car here for high speed, but unfortunately we're still trying to fix it because it broke. Yeah. Of course, I want to take home some trophies by the end of the day. But like I said, competition is, you know, there's a lot of guys here, there's a lot of guys that showed up. And so we're just going to have fun again, and then we'll see where we end up later.
Milo Rivera was as usual in the mix of battles for podium places, as he was in the first round. But this time, he is competing in a borrowed car and even sharing the car with another one of the big boys of the competition, Paulo Santos. And the Antons became the toast of the second round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series.
I really like this track also. So yeah, and right now we're holding the best time of the day. So I'm very happy for that. And then my son Inigo is also holding the fastest time for the novice. So right now we're both at the top, but you know, there are a lot of good drivers here, and I'm sure Danby will try to beat the time, and Milo will also try to beat the time. So we're here to learn and to push Inigo and to train him. So it's good. If we win, I'm very happy, and if we don't, still I always have fun at the races. I think my last run would have been better if I'm really having a hard time in the chicane. The steering gets so heavy right at the fourth chicane. So that's where I feel it's really slowing down. Everywhere else, I think I'm almost at the limit. But the chicane is the one with our power steering. It's just getting heavier towards the end. The first three are okay, but the fourth one we really struggle. It slows the car down so much. If we could just fix that, I think we'd go so much quicker.
At the end of the second round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship, Carlos Anton was the biggest winner, turning in the fastest overall time of the day, 51.09 hundredths of a second, which was also the fastest time in the WRG class. Yaptinchay was second with the 51.44 hundredths of a second, which he also set in the WRG class. And that's our race weekend for this week. Be sure to join us for more highlights of this year's busy and exciting season for local motorsports.
...2018 is turning out to be an outstanding and spectacular year for local motorsports, with more events, spectators and competitors showing up for race weekends. This week's feature on Race Weekend has been brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology.
For those who command respect. For those unrivaled in their field. For those who see the world differently. For you. The bigger, better, faster, stronger, all-new Fortuner. Own your world.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes with the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
Your weekly window to the world of business and guide to the good life can now be watched online. Just click on businessandleisure.ph and watch this week's show and other past episodes of Business and Leisure at your most convenient time of the day. Business and Leisure is now on the web. Watch it anytime. The original or Lapids Chicharon has over 40 years experience manufacturing high-grade and crispy chicharon nationwide and worldwide. They also serve the best tasting barbecue in town. Our Lapids Chicharon and Barbecue. Laging bagong luto.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry now takes center stage.
AutoNation Group Incorporated, general distributors for Mercedes-Benz vehicles in the Philippines, recently introduced the heavy-duty Mercedes-Benz Actros truck with the second generation of active brake assist. In line with the launching, AutoNation Group organized a live demonstration at the Freeport Zone of Clark Air Base in Pampanga to showcase how the safety technology activates in various pre-collision situations on the road. Mercedes-Benz stated that one of their developing highlights is the Active Brake Assist system, which was introduced for the Mercedes-Benz Actros heavy-duty truck in 2006. AutoNation Group stressed that the first-generation Active Brake Assist applied the brakes automatically if it detected a risk of a head-to-tail collision with a slow-moving obstacle in front of the vehicle, and Active Brake Assist 2 is also activated if a stationary obstacle is detected among its other features.
Active Brake Assist system is basically a safety feature introduced by Mercedes, initially for the trucks, then probably with the buses next time around. This will definitely help the driver in case there is a failure on the driver to react fast on what's happening on the road. So basically the Active Brake Assist will apply the brakes once there is no intervention from the driver if there is an obstruction in front of him.
Phoenix Petroleum, in partnership with RCBC, introduced the Phoenix RCBC Bank Card MasterCard in a launching ceremony held at the Green Sun Hotel in Makati City.
First of all, Bong, let me congratulate you in this partnership between Phoenix Petroleum and RCBC. And thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you, Butch. Thank you as well for coming over and helping us with the event.
Okay, Bong, tell us, can you give our viewers an idea, what's the rationale between this partnership?
So, first of all, Phoenix, as you very well know, is one of the fastest growing independent oil companies in the Philippines at the moment. And as we look at growing our portfolio, we recognize the evolving needs of our customers, one of which is payment. As they become more mobile, lifestyle changes, we recognize the need for them to have this kind of offer. And what better way to come up with this offer than to partner with an equally superior brand like RCBC BankCard. So we wanted to provide this as an offer to our customers to support their changing needs and lifestyle changes.
The partnership with RCBC is actually about the launch of the co-branded credit card. So it's very simple. All you have to do actually is go to any RCBC, Phoenix station, or even apply online. And the income requirement is just 15,000 to avail of the card. The benefits are 5% fuel rebate. That's the highest in our industry. 5% discounts on all Phoenix lubricants, free towing and roadside assistance, and free 500 peso worth of Phoenix fuel as welcome gift.
According to Phoenix Petroleum, the Phoenix RCBC BankCard MasterCard is a continuation of their initiatives aimed at bringing our fuel products and services to a higher level.
I would like to invite all our customers to come over and join and enroll in our new service offering, the Phoenix RCBC BankCard MasterCard, and enjoy Pulse Racing benefits and lifestyle rewards.
Our Car of the Week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. The new Honda Odyssey has made its way to the country, bringing a more luxurious shake in the minivan segment. Take a closer look at its features and style in this week's Showcase. Here we have the Honda Odyssey EXV Navi, which is powered by a 2.4L double overhead cam inline 4 that gives out 175 PS of power and 226 Newton meters of torque. This engine is coupled with a continuously variable transmission. Its suspension setup is composed of McPherson strut at the front and torsion axle beam at the rear. The exterior design of the EXV Navi is highlighted by Honda's latest design language, which features a new Aero bumper that is matched with a bold version of the company's standard grille. This front design also comes with LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. On the side, the look is highlighted by the 17-inch alloy wheels. Meanwhile, inside the EXV Navi, the cabin cradle seats with ottoman, armrest, and holder are wrapped in leather upholstery, making the seats comfortable to sit on for the driver and passengers. In addition, the seats have an 8-way configuration. Additionally, highlighting the interiors of the EXV Navi is its infotainment system that is composed of 7-inch touchscreen display audio with navigation that offers Bluetooth, HDMI port, USB-in connectivity, and has 6 speakers. What's more special with the EXV Navi is the additional technological safety features which top up Honda's standard ones. It includes smart parking assist system with new sensor-based back in, and parallel out feature, multi-view camera system with dynamic guidelines, and the cross-traffic monitor blind spot information. That was the Honda Odyssey XV Navi CVT. this week's Car of the Week on Showcase.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantees Auto Insurance Program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantees Auto Insurance Program, 100% worry-free driving.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes with the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
When you sweat to be sweet and you clean bar seat, it's love. When you try to look cool, but you look like a fool, it's love. It's love. It's love.
Show your love with the new features of the all-new Innova. Love the journey.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
On the final stretch of motoring today, we have our public service segment, courtesy of Honda Cars Philippines.
In our public service segment this week, we will be highlighting impounded colorum vehicles that are left on the streets. Here in White Plains Avenue in Quezon City, makikitang may mga nakaparadang impounded colorum vehicles sa gilid ng kalsada. Reports have it that matagal-tagal na rin na nandito ang mga ito, gayon din sa iba pang mga pangunahing kalsada. Isa sa mga nakikitang epekto nito ay nakaka-occupy ang mga sasakyan ng isang linya na para sana ay sa mga motorista and creates a heavy flow of traffic during rush hours. The LTFRB said that they've been lacking of impounding areas for these colorum vehicles. We will ask the agency on what their plans are for those that are left on the streets.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Until next week here in Motoring Today, now in its 31st year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. I'm Butch Gamboa. Happy motoring.